Been trying to find love again, and I genuinely think I have fallen in love with you. 100%. So there you go.
I can't tell you how much you actually mean to me. I just honestly, like, I've never met anyone like it, ever. And no, I'm not, do you know what it is? Yeah, I do love you too.
Somebody please explain to me, how the hell can they be in love within like a space of like, what, 2 weeks maybe? Listen, I get that obviously they're on a show, they see each other every single freaking day, and you know, obviously building emotions and feeling some type of way can be very easy when you're with that person all the time, without a shadow of a doubt. But for the moment that I saw this couple, I was like, this couple is going to be a train wreck this season. It hasn't happened yet, but I feel like it's gonna happen, and when it happens, it's gonna be quite explosive. And the thing is, my biggest concern is that she's somebody who drinks quite a bit. And she understands that she does. She understands also how that's not necessarily a good thing for herself. But also, he's somebody that is clearly an ex-addict to drugs, alcohol, the whole shebang. And one thing that I do know about people that have like an addictive personality, especially if they had an addiction to substances, they find something else to replace that with. And usually they go from one addiction to another addiction. Now, we don't know what his addiction is currently, obviously, before the show. But all I'm trying to say is people like that, they're also quite emotionally vulnerable. So it can be quite easy for them to fall for other people because they see that person as kind of a person they can now lean on, if you know what I'm saying. So again, I'm not saying that the love that they claim to have is not genuine, especially from him himself in particular. But I'm just questioning it. How do you know the why? You know, because I feel like with his own history, he may just be fragile to falling for people easy as 1, 2, 3, if you dig what I'm saying. But let me know your thoughts on that one, because I question it heavily, personally, myself. And her, I feel like Maeve literally had to, I felt like she just said I love you back because he said it, personally. You know what I mean? For somebody who's very guarded about her emotions, and obviously we've seen it, obviously, you know, let go of the emotions, obviously slowly. But for her to just be like, okay, my emotions are gone now, my guard is completely gone now, and there you go, I love you. Yeah, that's very questionable. So yeah, I do feel like she might have said it just out of, not necessarily pressure, but out of fear of losing, because we know she doesn't want to lose him. So she might just said it just to obviously please him. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, interesting. But we'll see how their relationship obviously moves on forward. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on them. Let's move on to the next one.
He isn't into women, so it's not as if it was then. But you know, it was silly. And
what was the comment, Sarah?
That I found him attractive, basically.
That you found the producer attractive?
Yeah. Comment that I made,
kind of,
just
jokey banter,
yeah. And okay. Then we'd gone upstairs and Dean.
What we'd all rather hear, Sarah, to be totally honest, is that you stop doing it.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, absolutely.
That's literally it. In a nutshell, she's moving mad. Sarah just needs to put leave. The thing that really annoys me about Sarah is that she's putting stay. Why are you putting stay for? It's like she's trying to save face, you know? She's trying to make people like her on the outside. She wants to come out and check her phone and her socials, and people aren't really grilling her that bad or whatever, but she's making things worse for herself. She said from the very get-go that this man is not my type. I want a man with tattoos. I want a man that looks like this. I want this, this, and that. And she's complaining about not having that. And she continues to disrespect Dean and also waste his time, and Dean continues to waste his own bloody time. The fact that he's allowing himself to get disrespected like this on a daily basis is just nasty work. The guy needs to grow some freaking balls and put down and leave. And she needs to be respectful to him and really just be like, you know what, I gotta leave. I'm not here for the right reasons, you know. My behavior is just pathetic at this point. So come on, let's do the right goddamn thing, because boy, it is frustrating. But let's continue with the next one.
And he isn't into women, so it's not as if it was then. But you know, it was silly.
I guess it's not talk.
Ah.
Fucking idiot.
Sorry?
I said fucking idiot. That's what I said.
Crazy business. Crazy business. As soon as you said that, I was like, the fact that even allow it on TV, but then again, this did appear like, well, to be fair, I missed recording it at 9, so I had to record it at like 12 midnight, so I wonder why they allowed that language at that time. Hence the reason why we got the man in the corner. Anyone from the UK knows. If you see a man in the corner or a woman in the corner doing sign language, it means it's after hours.
You're a grown man, in control of the words that come out of your mouth. Is this something that's new for you, coming out with a bit of an outburst like this? Or is it...
Very calm character, I'm a very cool character. I find it very hard to actually lose my rag.
See, my issue is that he says he's a very cool, calm character, and this isn't usually like him. But the thing is, though, I'm a very cool, calm character, and I would never get to a point where I have to call someone an effing idiot. You see what I'm saying? I would remove myself from somebody that's getting on my nerves. if things get overwhelmed, get too much, I remove myself. But of course, that's just me. I'm not Stephen, right? But I hope that from this experience, he can learn that even if he's got other things going on in his life, it doesn't excuse him to treat other people in the way he treated Nelly.
That's really hurt Nelly. Are you understanding the impact of your words and behaviour this week?
This week, my marriage hadn't been a priority. Getting the news my stepdad, who's basically raised me, is in hospital. So for me, this week, I've just not been able to think of...
Personally, I don't think that's a good enough reason to be horrible to somebody else. Okay, yes, your stepdad's in hospital. Yes, he's not going for a good time. Yes, obviously, you've been hit with a little bit of trauma. I get it. But it's not an excuse to be horrible to someone. It's just point blank, period. If you are around... Listen, do you know what the maddest thing about it is? If you can't tolerate your partner when you are at a tough time in your life, then why are you with that person? The whole idea of having a partner means that even when you're going through tough times, you can do what? You can, not... I don't want to use the word tolerate because that sounds so mean, but the idea is to have a partner who can be there for you, and you allow them to be there for you when you're going for a tough time. You don't have a partner for the sake of them being horrible to them just because you're going for a tough time. You see what I'm saying? Especially if you've got a partner that respects themselves, they're not going to tolerate none of that BS. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You still speak to me with respect. So for me personally, this whole segment here of Stephen breaking down and opening up to his reasons, for me wasn't good enough because, again, why are you putting stay to be with somebody who you feel like you can't even be respectful to when shit is the fan?
The marriage. It is that stress. What you saw on the honeymoon, what you saw on the wedding day, that's me. It's been so long since I've actually met someone who I've connected with.
Listen, I get it. Obviously, he's saying that who he was at the honeymoon is exactly who he is. He's that fun, calm, nice person. And I'm not saying he's not. But he needs to fix this part of himself. Because whether him and Nelly doesn't work out, the matter of fact is he can't continue like this in any relationship with any woman. Do you see what I'm saying? Or any man. He may decide to change his mind. You know what I mean? You never know. But the matter of fact is, though, he needs to recognize and own up to the fact that this behavior he has done is not acceptable. And to be fair, I do feel like maybe a part of him did recognize that, but I just wasn't a big fan with the way the what do you call it? The expert went about it. I didn't feel like the expert really said anything that was. Do you see what I'm saying? I felt like the expert kind of made it. It's like the expert was looking to hold him accountable, but also looking to give him a pass for his excuses behind his behavior. Which, in reality, in my opinion, he should have been really told that, listen, I get it, but this is not how you treat another human being. Point blank, period. I feel like he needed to hear it in a bit more of a firm way. Just because he started crying doesn't mean you have to go soft on him. I'm just saying. But that's just me. I believe in tough love. You know what I mean? But let me know your thoughts on that one itself in particular.
And I'll always fight my own battles and that. But I think if I'm saying, Devani, I'm calling your name, and then you don't step up and you're just sitting quietly, it was a bit disappointing tonight.
Thank you, Devani, from supporting her in that moment.
I think I just felt like I didn't want to fuel the fire. But generally, I would do stand up.
I said what I said last time, man. At the end of the day, you will not catch me, being put in a situation of conflict. If you want drama, you do your drama away from me. But I don't like the fact that they put me in this corner where they've made me feel as if next time she decides to get in a conflict with somebody else that he should step up because it's a way of showing support. I mean, which is quite subjective. Because sometimes showing support can also put you in the line of fire. Do you see what I'm saying? So,
What would you do differently?
Definitely stand up. And then I'll comfort her to obviously know that I've got her back.
Get up and come to me or just something.
About giving your wife your support. There are clearly some issues for the two of you around values. There was a sense that perhaps you weren't quite getting to that point of reading each other.
Do you know what? I have a question, actually, what I would like to know. Let's say, for example, in the situation when it was happening, and she said, Devani, what if he stood up, right? And he said, listen, okay, you two, there's no need for this, okay? At the end of the day, my wife, this is what she's heard. She decided to report it to her friend, and because that's her friend, right? Obviously, you are saying that didn't happen. That's fine. But there's no need for this going back and forth. Okay, at the end of the day, she said what she said. And it is now up to you and your wife to solve the situation. Now, was I there? Did I hear this information myself in particular? Actually, no, don't say that bit. Just the first bit. Just mediate. That's what I would do. I would mediate without saying what I heard. It's that simple. You know what I mean? But if I say, oh, I heard this, oh boy, yeah, that's me putting in it, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, so yeah. At the end of the day. Oh, actually, but then again, there's a flip side. The flip side is, I was there, and obviously, you know, like I'm not gonna make my wife look like a liar. And what she said happened did happen, but it's entirely up to how you two want to handle it. Being them, yeah. So you know what? Maybe that's the best way. You know, maybe that's the best way. Yeah. It is what it is. Because to be fair, men will respect another man's, you know, defending his wife. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, if he literally said, listen, you know, I'm not gonna let my wife look like a liar because she's not lying. This is exactly what happened. What she said did happen, and it's entirely up to you two what you want to do about it. Yeah, no, that's it. Simple. Boom, boom. There you go. There you go. That's how you avoid conflicts.
So now you know it wasn't received well.
100%.
But you know what your intention was.
Yeah.
Impact and intention. So my question is, how can you rephrase that to include your intent? Start it off for me. I would like to.
Treat you to get your nails done.
Talking to a grown man like he's a child is nasty business.
To show that I
Care about you.
reframing, ensuring that you outline your intent. I think this is incredibly important because what I hear you saying, here's what I'd like to offer because I want to show you how much I care for you. Is that?
I mean, listen, all of this is good advice, but at the same time, I think it needs to be recognized that clearly maybe they're just not compatible, because he shouldn't. The fact that she is not willing to trust what he's saying is a genuine thing, is a problem. She's got a lot of demons that she needs to deal with. I just don't believe that she's ready for a relationship, because nobody should be in a relationship like this where you have to do so much at the very beginning. Like, it's just not healthy in any way. So, yeah, if you ask me personally, I just feel like Grace isn't ready.
Is that fair?
What your triggers are, what makes you feel comfortable, you know, having that open communication and really building that trust. Like, actually, if Grace can hear that the intention isn't to control or to want any sex or affection.
Listen, I fully believe that right now at this point, this whole relationship is all about Ashley getting to know Grace. All about Ashley understanding Grace. At what point did this relationship ever become about, okay, what about Ashley though? When has Grace taken time to get to know him? You see what I'm saying? The whole foundation of the relationship is literally based on how to get around all of her issues. That's not a relationship, because once they get past it, then what? Is she gonna be as patient and as open to get to know him for him? Because the matter of fact is, the reason why she's not even happy with the way he's behaving is because he's being him. So in the process of him trying to navigate how she likes to receive things, he's also losing himself in that process. Because in that process, he's being told that what he's saying and what he's doing is not right, which for some part may not be. So for me personally, the relationship isn't even fair in any shape or form. Like, one person is being focused on more than the other. And literally, this is like the early stages of getting to know each other. It's not like they've been together for a while and, you know, one of them is going through something, so therefore one needs more attention than the other one. That's not even the case. They've just met. And it's all about the one person. Yeah, broski, I'm out. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, please. Peace.